Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Ninjago. Today we have another tier list. We're going to be doing every Dragons Rising episode from Season 1 to Season 4. Now before we get into the video, I want to ask you guys if you've been enjoying the tier list. Obviously we're in a bit of a drought right now of Ninjago as we're in between Part 1 and Part 2. So once we get more about Part 2 and Legends, there will be more videos centered around them. But for now, I figured this is a good way to talk about like a broader range of stuff because as you can see, we've got episodes from all 4 Dragons Rising seasons and I'll go into more detail about them. So it's a good way to talk about a bunch of different stuff in one video. And yeah, with that said, in terms of tiers, we have Peak, 10 out of 10 episode, would watch it by itself, like amazing peak episode. Then we've got amazing, really good, maybe just one problem with the episode, something like that. Great, just a bit below. Good, it's an okay episode, maybe a bit fillery. That's probably what good is. Mid, there's either something, since they're 22 minutes, I would categorize mid as, say, for example, maybe one storyline's really interesting, but then there's another that's not. That's sort of what mid is to me. And then bad, we do have one or two bads, unfortunately. We'll get to that. You'll understand what bad is once we get to it. But yeah, with that said, let's get into the first episode. We have The Merge Part 1. I'd probably go peak for The Merge Part 1. If you guys remember back in 2023 when we first got that initial teaser with the world like exploding and we had no idea what it was. And I feel like The Merge Part 1 does a really good episode of showing that but setting up Dragons Rising as a whole really well. You've got the opening scene, which is amazing, which is the Aaron recounting the merge and he's introducing all the ninja. It's just such a good scene. You get him saying all the ninjas' names. I saw someone hating on that scene the other day. It's like, I get, obviously he wouldn't actually say all the ninjas' names, but like, you know, you don't have to be such a nerd about it. Like it's an introduction to the show. That really annoyed me, but this is a peak episode to me. Then you've got Lloyd saving them at the end. You've got their race. The start's definitely the best bit, but overall, very good introduction to Dragons Rising. It definitely gets you hooked on the show. Then we have The Merge Part 2, which opens with the ninja on the train. And it has, that's where Lloyd goes and meets the matriarch. And they go through the monastery. That's a pretty good episode. I'd probably go, great or amazing. We'll give it amazing. I feel like it continues the momentum of The Merge Part 1 pretty well. Definitely not as good, but I'd say amazing. Then we have Crossroads Carnival. I'd probably go good. Definitely a bit fillery and quite early to have a filler episode. Obviously, this is once we do the character tier list, that'll probably be next week. You'll understand how much I hate Dorama. He's one of the worst characters in Ninjago, like, in total. So, unfortunately, this episode is the one that introduced him. So, rubs me the wrong way a bit with that. But, overall, solid episode. Lots of training sort of stuff going on. And you just get to know Aaron and Sora a bit more, which I think is pretty good. And probably the best scene in this is the one where Lloyd sees the photos of the ninja. That's really good. Then we have Beyond Madness. I'd go great. There's a couple of these episodes, specifically this one and the next one in the first part of Dragons Rising, that are just like reintroducing some characters. This one reintroduces Kai and Nia, and it's with the rock monsters. Overall, a pretty fun episode. Yeah, I'd go great. Then we have Riders of Destiny. This is the one where you get introduced to Euphrasia. It's definitely better than Crossroads Carnival. I'd go great. Then Return to Imperium. This is a really solid episode. This is mainly the Sora backstory episode. And that's really interesting to me. So I'm debating putting this one in amazing. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'll go amazing for Return to Imperium. Very solid episode. Starts with they're finding what are they called? The wolf things. I forgot what they're called. The Photax. There you go, the Photax. Starts with them fighting them, and then they eventually go to Imperium. That's pretty good. Mindless Beasts, I would go great. I feel like as you can see, there's 5 episodes of the season in Imperium. I feel like the stuff in Imperium does drag a little bit in part 1 of Dragons Rising season 1, but overall it's still quite entertaining, so I'll go great for this episode. Then we have I Will Be the Danger, the introduction to Wildfire. I mean, this might be biased because I really like Wildfire, but again, I'm going to go amazing. You get I think it's the opening scene with the Wildfire backstory, which we still don't know where she came from, but you get introduced to Heatwave, the caregiver bot. She gets her powers, and then it shows how she ended up in Imperium. Really like this episode. I'd go amazing. Then we have the Carmen side. I kind of want to go amazing as well. This episode's really good. I'll go great. I don't think it's got like the standout moment like the Wildfire backstory. But the Carmen side, that's the one with the flashbacks with Lloyd with the weird golden woo. And I'm trying to think, is there anything that pushes it over? Nah, we'll go great. Then we have the finale of season 1, part 1, the Battle at the Second Monastery. I'm going to go peak. Great episode. You've got Lloyd, the first introduction of a Source Dragon, like seeing a Source Dragon with Lloyd being powered up. You've got the vision scene, which is very good. You've got like continuing on the Kai, Zane, and Nia coming back to Imperium, which is pretty good. Sora stopping the Photax. You got that scene with Raptor where he's like, if we line up in opposite order, and then Beatrix's like, just storm the gate, Raptor. That's always been a funny joke to me. But yeah, we'll go peak for that. On to part 2 of Dragons Rising Season 1. We're starting off with the Temple of the Dragon Cause. Love the start to this episode where they save the family or the old people on the bridge. And then it gets a little bit slow. I feel like Dragons Rising as a whole does struggle with continuation. Like a lot of these part 2s feel like you stop at part 1 and then you pick up again at part 2. It's not a continuous thing. I feel like, yeah, this is probably the biggest culprit of that, where it really feels like they kind of wrapped up, they like half wrapped up season 1 in part 1, and then they have to like set up again in the start of part 2, if you know what I mean. But overall for this episode, so this is where they go to the Temple of the Dragon Cause. I'll go great. Not the best episode, but it's alright. Then we've got Gangs of the Sea. This is the one with, yeah, this is a problem with season 1. It does have a decent bit of like fillery sort of stuff. This is the one with the crab monster, which turned out to be a prismatic blade, which makes absolutely no sense. But that's no problem with this episode. I'd go good. You get more of Aaron and Lloyd's dynamic, and I think, who else? It might just be those two. Yeah, it's just those two. And yeah, there's not much to say with this episode. It's solid, but, you know, not the best. Then we've got Wildly Inappropriate. This is the one with Wildfire and Kai with the, I think it is, yeah, with the Lava Tides and the Zane competition, I'm pretty sure is in this one, yeah. I'll go good. I do like the Kai and Wildfire dynamic. It definitely gets better as the season goes on. But the Zane stuff is a bit fillery. It is good Zane stuff where he's sort of having an identity struggle, which does fit the sort of previous writing of his character. Sort of like a way of the writers addressing that they're going to work on Zane, which they didn't straight away, but eventually they did in season 4, so can't hate it fully, but yeah. I'll go good. Yeah, there's not much to say. The Last Djinn, this is a pretty good episode. I want to go... See, this is the thing with part 2 of season 1. It does have some really good episodes. The Last Djinn, I'll go great. You've got the start of Sora's sort of doubts and Nia pointing them out, which is pretty good. So you've got Aracor. And... Yeah. Oh, I thought that was... No, don't worry. Yeah, overall, pretty solid. I go great episode this. Then we've got They Call It Doom. This is the one with Lloyd and Aaron with Xantans, and you've got a little bit of Aracor and Nia, and then They Call It Doom. Yeah, that is the... Yeah. I'll go good. Again, the stuff with Lloyd and Aaron is a bit boring until they get to the administration. It's just a bit fillery, and then they have the... Lloyd does the path, which I get is a good lesson. All this stuff isn't bad, but it is a bit like fillery. So I'll go good. Then we have The Land of Lost Things. This could go peak. I'm gonna go amazing. This is a really good episode. See our reintroduction to Cole. You meet the Finders. Sora, Neve meet them. It's a really solid episode. And what else goes on in this episode? I don't remember what else goes on, but yeah, very solid episode. Then we have the administration. Again, I'm gonna go amazing. Probably the best use of the administration in the show. As I said in a previous video, I do get a bit tired of the administration now, but when we didn't know what the administration was and we'd only seen them in one teaser, this episode was so interesting. The first use of the sort of the administration theme, which is such a fun theme, and like it's just such a different thing for Ninjago as a whole, that I think this episode is really good. Then we have one of my favorite episodes from season 1, Absolute Power. I'm gonna go peak. This is the introduction. This is sorry, not the introduction. The flashbacks of Beatrix with Emperor Levo and Zeatrix, where Raz sort of, you see how this is the first time we see how Raz's manipulation works. One thing before we go back, just go back to the administration for 1 sec. I love the ending of the administration when they just rush to go to Imperium and it ends with the explosion, which obviously we see in the next episode, but just thought I'd mention that because that's one of my favorite scenes. Anyway, back to Absolute Power. You see the start of Beatrix. You kind of understand Beatrix more. Obviously, she's not right, but you understand more why she became this way, because her dad was gave so much more attention to Zeatrix than her, that she's very jealous. And yeah, overall pretty solid. Sets up Zeatrix in the further season, even though that doesn't play out the best. But yeah. Then we have We Are All the Dragons. I'm going to go amazing. Another great episode. Very reminiscent of, Radio Free Ninjago episode, I want to say 3 of season 9, Hunted, where Lloyd's got the speech. Not as good as that Lloyd speech, but very good. And it sort of sets up the initial conflict with Sora's parents coming back. And it's got some sick battles mainly. I think the battle with Nia, Lloyd, and Zane, the one I always mention with Beatrix, where like she opens up, like her arms are stretched out and they're all attacking her. I think that one's in this episode, so that's definitely extra credit to it. Yeah, I'll go amazing. Then we got the finale, The Power Within. I'll go peak. Great episode, great action. You've got stakes as the show, like the ninja disappear. Obviously, you know they're not dead, but yeah, it's still good. Then you got the defeat of Beatrix, which is pretty good. Aaron stops her. Main highlight scene, you've got Sora's true potential, where she finally embraced that she doesn't need to impress her parents, which has been a running arc, especially in part 2 for the whole time. So overall, peak episode, very good. Now let's get into season 2 of Dragons Rising. We're starting off with the Blood Moon. The Blood Moon. I feel like this is a good episode. Is it this episode where this is the episode where Cinder steals the mallet, right? Yeah, I think so. It can go good. Yeah, I feel like some of the introduction episodes of Ninjago aren't the best. Obviously, like Temple of Dragon Calls. The Merge Part 1 is very good, but some of the season starters are a bit fillery. We'll get to one that's very fillery. But I'd go good. Then we have Shattered Dreams. I was going to put this in good as well, but then I remembered this has the Cloud Kingdom fight at the end, which is great. So I'm going to put it in great. You do have sort of some fillery stuff with, is it Fedulian? Yeah, where they're sort of like finding out what happened, which they need to do, but isn't the most interesting. But this episode's definitely carried by the Cloud Kingdom fight at the end, where you get the introduction to Shadow Spin. So I'll go great. Then we have Beyond the Phantasm Cave. This is the episode where they travel to where Eagle and Rontu are, and you get the visions or the nightmare sort of things. I'll go great. This is also where Lloyd has a couple of his visions. Overall, pretty great episode. Then we have Force from the East. This is where they fight Rontu and Eagle and they get introduced to them. I love the stuff with 1, 2, and Ego. I'm probably going to go amazing for this episode. Really solid. Then we have the spell at the waterfall. Again, another great episode. I feel like... Wait, which is the one with... Which is the one with Dorama? Is it... I think it's... Yeah, it's not... We'll go great for this one. To Mysterium, we'll go good. I think this is the one with Dorama. It might be the next one. But... Trying to think. I think it's this one. So, I don't like Dorama. So, anytime Dorama's in an episode, it can't go above great for me. Then we've got Fugitives from Madness. Another... is this the one where Kai unlocks it? I think it is. This can go amazing then. Let me see. Yeah, I think it is. This can go amazing. Secrets of the Wilderness. Great episode. That's... This is where they're at the monastery. The second monastery. With Gandalaria. And then... The Blood Moon starts rising as well. Pretty good episode. Then Forest of Spirits can go amazing. Setting up to the finale, you've got... This is the one where they crash the bounty. And Cole and Zane's group also, it starts meshing together. And you've got them in the little mushroom thing. I think it's a pretty amazing episode. Then we have the finale of part 1. Rising Ninja, peak. This has got the scenes where Kai unlocks his Rising Dragon in the battle against Cinder. Great scene. You've got the Lloyd fight with Raz. You've got Noct coming out of the portal and Kai getting thrown in. Just overall great episode. And you've got the stuff with Aaron throwing the thing and Sora helping, which sets up the conflict in part 2. Overall, very good episode. Then let's go to part 2 of season 2. Starting with the Shape of Motion. This is the one where they find the Matriarch Dragon. And it's got the stuff with the administration at the start with Aaron and Sora. I'd go... where would I go? Is it up there? Where did I put the Blood Moon? It's better. I'll put it in great. Then we've got Enter the City of Temples. Starts off a bit boring, where they're gathering Zane and stuff, but then the part where they fight their way into the City of Temples is very good. So I'll probably put this episode in good overall. Then we have They Gather for the Feast. Another good episode, not the most interesting. You're just sort of getting introduced to the City of Temples. You're introduced to characters like Roby, Blacked, and you see the rises there. And we also get the introduction of Zeatrix, where I think it's meant to be a twist, but it doesn't really work. Where she turns out to be Zeatrix, not Beatrix, even though... Yep, I'll talk about that another day, but that doesn't make much sense why she's got the same haircut as Beatrix if she hates Beatrix so much, but yeah, anyway. Inside the Maze, this is the one where Jay and Nia fight, I'm pretty sure. This can go great, that's a good action scene. And yeah, my memory's a little bit shaky on these episodes, but I remember it being pretty good. United We Fall, so that's before that. That's before the... This has got the Cinder versus Wildfire stuff. It's a good episode. Then we have Truth and Lies. This is the race episode. Not the best. But it does have that really good scene with Raz and Aaron in their place. Which is tough because if it was just the race, I'd put it in mid. But we'll put it in good because that scene carries heavy. Then we've got 4 more episodes. Got the Sword Shatters. This is Zeatrix versus Lloyd. This is would I go amazing? We'll go great. This is a great episode. You start to see more of Aaron's relationship cracking with Sora, and you just see more action. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is where most of the final tournament stuff happens. So pretty great. Then we have Clues and Suspects. This is where they start really figuring out the mystery of who killed the matriarch and stuff like that. And you've also got the stuff where Aaron doesn't want to work with Sora. So I go amazing for this episode. Or I'll go great. Not too many amazing episodes for part 2. Then the final games can go amazing. And elements of Betrayal peak. You've got the Kai vs. Noct. You've got the ending scene where Aaron ends up with Raz. You've got them being betrayed. Or that happens at the start. That happens at the end of the final game. The final game's got the Sora and Noct fight, which is very good. And yeah, overall peak. So that's season 2. Then we've got season 3 next. Now, season 3, the missing. Mid. This is the episode with the lightning tides. I cannot stand the lightning tides. They're so annoying. And does anything really actually matter that happens in this episode? You don't see Aaron and Raz. The Forbidden Five only show up in the last minute. What even happens? You've got the stupid filler stuff with Wildfire, Kai and Nia, and the Lightning Tides, which is a horrible way to start this season. This season had so much to do, and wasting the first 2 episodes on it, or maybe even more, wasting the first 3 episodes on stuff like this is not a good idea. So I'll go mid. Then we have the Ultimate Object of Admiration, mid again. Introduces Power Lid, who's such an unnecessary and such an annoying character that it has to deduct points for it. So we'll go mid for that. Then we have the Spectral Lance. This is 50-50 because I really like the stuff with Moro and Aaron. But the stuff with Kai and Nia and Wildfire at the video game place is drawn out for way too long. So we'll go... The Moro stuff is really good though, so we'll go great. Then we have the Great Zane Robbery, bad. Redoes the trope of Zane dying, but worse. A lot of Rapton in it, with Rapton is significantly worse in season 3 than every other season. And Rapton is a one scene character. You have him in one scene, then he's gone. He's not a returning character. He was good in season 1 because it made sense that he was there, but it's getting too much. Too much Rapton. Bad episode. Introduction to Pixel kind of feels a bit flat. You've got the weird scene where Zane's doing all the voices of them. Yeah, bad episode. Then we have I Alone Can Save Them. This is where Aaron finds out his parents are dead. And what else happens in this episode? Is this the this is the Zarkt versus Lloyd's group. This can go good. Again, season 3 has some lows, man. This isn't great. Fallen Wishes, this episode always stuck out to me, and I didn't figure out why for a while, but then I realized it's because the action's really not that good. Rocks, we'll figure out where to... I kind of want to put this episode in bad. I don't like what they do with Dareth at the start. I don't like the Aracore stuff. I don't like Rocks being really overconfident and pretty stupid. The whole idea of this episode that Rocks goes, wishes it by accident is completely stupid. She's meant to be the leader of the Forbidden Five. She's meant to be smart, and she does stuff like that. Overall pretty bad episode. The action's alright, but it feels really forced, and Rocks could just leave at multiple points, and she just doesn't choose to. Which is why it feels a bit, not very good, to be honest. I'm going to put that episode in bad. Then we have the Draconic Majesty's Request. This is the one where they go to the Temple of the Dragon Cause with Raz and Aaron. I'll go good. I think this is the one with Wildfire getting that thing for Roby. This is the problem with season 3. It has so much useless filler. The stuff in the missing. Completely unnecessary. The ultimate object of admiration. There we go. Filler. Great Zane robbery. We waste 5 minutes on Zane fake dying again. Fallen Wishes. The whole concept of the episode is stupid. That Rox would do something so dumb when she's meant to be one of the greatest warriors of all time. Greatest villains of all time. Yeah. And then the Draconic Majesty's Request. The stuff with Aaron and Raz is alright. Or, does this have the fight with... this does have the stuff with Rogue, doesn't it? Yeah, it can go to great then. Those are good. Those action scenes with Rogue, they can go there. Crashing Together is gonna go peak. I think this might be the best episode of season 3, part 1. This is where, yeah, this is where you get the flashbacks of Aaron and Sora meeting, and this is where they first meet again in the season. You've got that great scene where they're on the tree with the, what's it called? With Aaron's grappling hook where they're hanging there and they go, oh, I'm sorry. And yeah, very good action as well. We've got Drix coming in, being the only competent Forbidden 5 member this whole season. And yeah, probably the best episode of season 3, part 1. Then we have Chaos Unchained. This is, I'm trying to remember what happens. This is where they go back. Yeah, this is where they're fighting the Forbidden 5 and stuff in the first round. Can go amazing. This is a great episode. Season 3 does have good highs though. I'll give it that. Then the Shadow Dragon is it's not a peak. Is it peak? I don't feel like it's peak because, I'll put it in amazing, but, so what happens in this? You've got Aaron stopping Thunderfang with the Well of the Lost, the stuff in the Well of the Lost. You've got Rogue revealing himself as Jay. You've got them, this can go peak, yeah. It's got some great action scenes. I like the one where the Lloyd, Nia, and Kai do Rising Dragon together. Overall, it's a finale. It does what a finale needs to do. And it has a good cliffhanger for part 2. Which, yeah, we'll get to part 2 right now. Starting off, we've got the Hollow Ones. So this is Egolt's death. This is where they begin the plot to find Aaron's parents. And this is, we see a bit of Aaron and Sora, I'm pretty sure. Not too much happens. And yeah, this is where, what's that place called? Is it Abracalabria? Where that place, you see, I think that's the opening scene where Kerr comes through and, like, I don't know what it's called, hollows them out. Yeah, Hollow Ones, there you go. Actually a pretty decent episode, I'll go great. I do feel like I love Ego, and I feel like his death scene was very rushed, because you've got the joke before where Cole's sick on the bounty, which makes the scene feel like it's going to be funny, and it's a very abrupt change where you quickly go from that to seeing Ego like half dead, and it's one of the only times you actually see a character die on screen, so that's a bit awkward. Then the Ego scene feels a bit underdeveloped, and I think that's mainly a problem with part 1. The fact that we literally didn't see Ego at all, and we barely see him in season 2, part 2. I think it would have been better if we put, it's tough because there's not many scenes where you can put it in part 2, in season 2, part 2, or season 3, part 1. But it did feel we haven't seen this character in around like 15 episodes, and the next time we see him, he's dead. Maybe it would have been better if they could show him dying and then bring him back and kill him halfway through the season. I know, it just felt like, for such a good character, it felt like a bit of a rushed, like, we need to do this ending. And I think they handled the ending of Ego way better, or like gave Ego a better moment in season 4 than they did in him. So yeah. Then we have Human Resources. This is where they infiltrate the administration. And sorry. This is where they infiltrate the administration. So you got Wildfire, Lloyd, Nia, and Jay. Pretty fun. I'll go good. Then we've got Between You and Lee, which is where they're in the Realm of Lee. I quite like the Realm of Lee stuff. I'll go great for this one. Oh, this does have the dance number though. That's not great. But yeah, I'll go great. Casket of Bones. This is a really good episode. This is where Raz sort of reveals his plan to use Sora to make the next icon. And they've got that fight. I don't remember what happens with the other ninja. Probably nothing much important. So we'll go amazing for this episode. This is probably the standout of part 2. The Screaming Earth. This is where... this is a problem with season 3 again. This is another lame reveal that the thing Wu was getting Cole to look for was a Source Dragon. I mean, it's a crazy reveal, but it doesn't feel like it was what they were setting up to. because I don't know why we would just show yeah, well, there's a lot to talk about this, but it's a bit underwhelming as a revelation, so I'm gonna go good. Then we have Under the Light of the Mechanical Moon, of a Mechanical Moon, sorry. This is where Sora and Aaron meet up with the ninja in the realm of Lee, and Aaron meets his parents again. This is actually a pretty good episode. Um, okay, great. I do like a lot of the middle episodes. I think that's the highlight of part 2 of season 3, the middle episodes. Like, specifically, Casket of Bones, Under the Light of the Mechanical Moon, and The Vault of Focus. Sorry. I think those are very solid episodes. Again, Vault of Focus, very good. I like going back to the City of Temples. I like the action scene with the security bots and the ninja. That's a great scene. I like Black being back and explaining the origins of Thunderfang. Here's a problem. Thunderfang is barely in this season as a whole. So they're setting up the threat of Thunderfang. We don't see him. I think Thunderfang, exclude the last episode, I think Thunderfang literally has about 5 minutes of screen time up until the finale. Like, that's another problem. Season 3 just continues to grow off me as a season, especially with how good season 4 was. But yeah. For Who the Bells Toll, this episode is alright, but I remember the first 8 episodes leaked of this season back in April of last year, and I was really enjoying it up until the end where we see Power Lid and Rapton back, and I remember saying, oh no. I remember literally going, oh no, why are they doing this? Why are we bringing back Power Lid and Rapton? And we'll get to that right now. Bad. When Doves Cry, bad episode, worst episode of Dragons Rising. I think the biggest problem with it, as an episode, before we get to the bad, I don't know if I can put it in bad though, because the Raz fight with Frohiki and Geo and Rontu is really good. But, nah, it doesn't outweigh it though. This episode is not, like, how do I explain it? This episode is so fillery and at the worst possible time. This season already feels like it had a decent amount going on. And for them to use the second last episode to have, yes, the Raz stuff is good, but that's very good. But you've got the stupid jokes with Power Lid, which wastes like 5 minutes of the second to last episode. You've got the stuff with Rapton, which is just annoying. You've got the coconut of Candelaria, which starts getting really annoying in this episode. She's alright in the episode before, but she really starts getting annoying in this one. Then you've got them messing around the whole time. I just feel like this episode is sort of... There is... In, what's the episode before? For Whom the Bells Toll, I feel like the season was starting to get some momentum. This episode, say the season was at 50% momentum, like really starting to build up. This episode drops it right back down to about 10%. And it's very weird watching this episode than watching the finale. Because if you watch this episode, you would think, oh, there's like 4 episodes left to go in the season, right? If they're wasting this much time. But no, this is the second to last episode. When Doves Cry is just, this is not it. If I could go on for a while about how much I dislike this episode. Again, the Ra stuff is good, but it's not enough for me to not put it in bad. Then we have Chaos Reigns, the finale of Season 3 Part 2. Probably the worst finale of Dragons Rising. You've got Kai and Nia fighting Zarked, and then Jay comes in, which is alright. You've got Sora, Frack, and Wildfire fighting Kerr, and Ryu does the Spinjitzu, which I feel like is such an undercooked scene. Again, like the Ryu, the E-Goat death, I feel like it was something they built up to and then just feels very, like, this is my thing with Ryu. I feel like you forget about Ryu a lot, and then when they actually do something with him, you go, oh, yeah, Ryu. So, I don't think we'll go great, because I still think it's a pretty solid episode. The cliffhanger is very good. And the action's good. The stuff with Thunderfang and the Arc Dragon is alright. Like, it feels very boring, same. Thunderfang, they're building up this whole time. Oh, if Thunderfang goes to the Spectral Lands, you're done for. Like, we can't stop him. And then he literally, I feel like, loses worse than he did in the part 1 finale. So, yeah, we'll go great for that episode. Then we have the most recent season. We have season 4, part 1. Let's start with the Whispering Woods. So this is the episode where we get Aaron explaining what happens with Thunderfang to Euphrasia. We've got LaRoe as the loyalist leader, unlocking the elemental monsters. You've got some... no, that's not. You've got some stuff with Kai and Jay and Nia, which is pretty good. You've got... Is the Zane stuff? This episode can go great. This is a very good start to... Probably the second best first episode of a season, I think. Let's see. Yeah, probably the second best. Gets going, doesn't waste time like The Missing does. Just shows the plot, doesn't waste time. Then we have the Lean of the Tree. This is where Lloyd and his group meet the Dragon of Life. And this is where Jay has his nightmare sequence, which I like. And they get out of the beast. And they end up in the realm of madness. And I'll go great for this episode. Then we have Tonight We Hunt Monsters. These two do have, probably the reason why they're not higher is the stuff with Sora and Wildfire and Frack. I feel like really starts to pick up in episode 3, which we're about to get to. So that's why I feel like they wasted the first place they end up in. But once we get to, what's it called? Once we get to, I can't remember, but the place they're staying at. No, I'm not going to remember. Tonight We Hunt Monsters. So this is the one where Ryu gets injured and Jay, Nia, and Kai infiltrate the administration. Again, another great episode. I think this is the one where Zane shows up. Pretty sure. Great. A Wonder of the Merge Lands. I'm going to go peak. This is where Jay gets his memories back. This is... Ryu's still sick, which is alright. They do draw that out a little bit, but it's not that big of a problem. And I think this is where Zane shows up, I'm pretty sure. Episode 4. I'm pretty sure. Then we've got Seed and Soil. This is where Ryu, evolves. And you've got the really good scene with Ego and Rontu, where I do think they could have killed Rontu, but I'm going to put this in amazing. Great episode. Then we have Just Under the Surface. This is... Just Under the Surface. I think this is where they start... What happens in this? I think the stuff with... memory's a bit shaky on this. I think this is where Cole starts getting introduced to the season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And he starts discovering stuff. Pretty great episode. Sorry if my memory's not the best on this episode, but... Then we have the Grand Inquisitor. This is where they discover which member of the Explorers Club is a loyalist. And they get the spiral thing. I'll go great. Again, this season's going to be... Look at this season. No episodes even in good. This might mean season 4 is the best, judging off here. Dying to Live. Amazing episode. This is... Oh no, this is peak. This has got the... I completely forgot that was in this for a second. This has got the enemy Lloyd versus Lloyd fight, the best fight in Dragons Rising. And it's got the stuff with Cole, which is really good. It's got the start of the Whispering Woods, dying. And it's got the most of the Lloyd... Oh, that's what happens in Just Under the Surface. The start of the Lloyd trials. That could bump it up. Nah, we'll keep it there, but... Dying to Live peak episode. Got the stuff with Cole versus Beatrix, which is very good. You've got the highlight Lloyd versus enemy Lloyd. Yeah, peak episode. And you've got, I think this is where Jay and Nia and Kai start uncovering the plot as well. So we'll go peak. Then Heartbeat of the Realms can go amazing. Sort of not as much of a setup, but sort of a bit of a setup for the finale. Got Beatrix starting to invade Imperium. I think they all come together end of this episode, or the ninja, or it might be at the start, Birthright. But yeah, very solid, very amazing episode. Then last one for the tier list today, we have Birthright Peak. You've got the stuff with the Draconis form. You've got Beatrix and Imperium again, which I like the saying of Imperium. You've got the ending with Sora's parents showing up and Rise getting another icon. You've got the scene where Jay's laughing at Frag. That's a great scene. Like, so many highlights in this season, in this episode, and this season as a whole. So overall, let's go over how many we've got in each category. In peak, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In amazing, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Great is where the most are. So we've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 26 episodes in great. In good, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Which is pretty good. Not too many just good episodes. In mid, we've got 2. And in bad, we've got 3. Then you can see a theme here based off... You can sort of get the idea of which seasons are the best. Obviously, you've got the most... Amazing is really where you see it, because there's not many episodes that can be peak. But I think this really shows, the good and the mid and bad really show what seasons are a bit weaker. And yeah, that's going to do it for the tier list today. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Did I get anything wrong? Was I too harsh for Fallen Wishes? Was I too nice to Shadow Dragon? Was I too nice to any other episodes? Is there any crazy ones? Anyone's in great that should be in peak? Anyone's in great that should be in bad? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.